and welcome back to CCC. I'm Milana and this is called Catalogue to Tracking a Cat. Now in this video I'm going to be talking about gap years, which in general in the cat universe has a very negative connotation. So when people think about gap years, they're always like, oh, but that looks bad on your CV, your interviewers look down upon it, and they might even deduct points. So there's a lot of myth that surrounds the whole idea of gap years. It really doesn't matter. It depends on how you make the most of that gap year and how you learn as much as you can and how you project it in your interviews. Before you take a gap year, what are some of the factors that you should be considering? The first thing is whether you have the mental bandwidth. Now the CAT is an exhausting exam, and I say this as someone who has taken it thrice. Each time you take it, it's like a part of you dies because the syllabus is so vast, you have to take so many mocks. It's really exhausting. In such a case, it's important that you have some amount of inner motivation and drive, and that you also have a sense of accountability towards yourself. Because unlike, say, a school exam or a college exam where you have teachers hounding at you,
shameless boy,
people are not going to be chasing after you in an exam like a cat. You're not a kid anymore, right? So it is important to sort of be mentally prepared and display that sense of resilience and grit and patience. And another thing is to be okay with dealing with 1 year longer FOMO. I feel this is something that a lot of people don't talk about. And by FOMO, I mean fear of missing out. Because what happens is when you're sitting at home alone and just studying, and you go onto your Instagram or whatever other social media you use, and you see all of your friends, landing up at fancy jobs or, in great colleges. So it becomes very hard then to sort of, make peace with the fact that you will also get there. But right now, it's not your place yet. So I think it needs some amount of mental rewiring before you jump into the gap year system. Now the second thing is analyzing why you need a gap year. So now what happens a lot of times is that people who have college or who have work find it very hard to juggle that with cat prep. And there's no shame in it. It's perfectly fine. I couldn't either. But I think what is important is that we recognize that is the problem. Now, on the other hand, if you have another problem like, say, conceptual difficulties, that I don't think can be addressed through a gap year. Of course, it gives you more time for practice. That said, it won't really address the problem of the lack of time. So if lack of time is a key issue, then a gap year is certainly good because it gives you all the time that you need to prepare for this exam. Now, the third thing is how do you project your gap year? So this is what I call CV building. The truth is that every interviewer knows that if you've taken a gap year, it is partly to study for the CAT. What else did you do in that time? That is what they're looking for. It could be about doing internships maybe, volunteering somewhere, or picking up a hobby. When it comes to picking up hobbies, I would say pick up a hobby that you're already good at and just strengthen it further rather than picking up something new. Like rather than starting off as a karate white belt, it's better if you take up a piano grade 7. If you've already been doing it, right? Because it shows a sense of consistency, it shows a sense of commitment and dedication towards a particular field, which are traits which these interviewers are really looking for and hoping that you will bring to the classroom. So that is important. And the last facet, which is not much talked about, but I think is very important, is looking at your finances. Now, a gap year can be very expensive. So it is important to see how you're going to be managing that. Facets to consider in such a case is one is coaching. So coaching is rather exorbitant these days. So, coaching is going to be expensive. Then, applications, we apply to a lot of colleges and each of them charges a hefty amount, right? So basically looking at whether at that point or at this point in your career, it is a wise idea to take a break or not, or whether you can delay it or whatever, depending on your circumstances. That said, I think taking a gap year was the best decision for me. I think it's worth the risk. It is certainly something that you should consider if you feel time is a hindering factor, and gap years aren't that bad. I will do a video later on how to make your gap year look pretty, but for now, this is all for this video. So if you like it, then please like, comment, share and subscribe to this channel, and I hope to see you again.